Hey everyone! Thanks so much for tuning into this class. This class is part of a series that is called Sam's Gem Fest. And so this is the class that's going to be how to use a Lampwork focal in a seed beaded necklace design. And I'm wearing the necklace that I'm going to be teaching here in this class. It features a floral lampwork that you'll get a closer view of on the mat, but I just thought it paired so nice and symmetrically with beaded beads. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a bunch of gems and some seed beads and make a beaded bead accompaniment for our gorgeous lampwork focal bead. And so, keeping with the theme of florals, there is going to be a giveaway as part of Sam's Gem Fest. And so, there is a question that I'd like you to answer in the chat that will enter you into the giveaway. There will also be details in the video description about the giveaway. So if you're looking for that, just browse the description to the video. But our question is, what is your favorite flower? So drop that in the chat and we'll enter you into the giveaway. And I want to wish you happy Sam's Gem Fest. And from here, let's go into how to make this gorgeous necklace. So I'm going to show you a close-up view of this necklace on the mat and go through in detail all of the materials and then how to make it. Oh, and there is a PDF you can download also in the description that just summarizes everything that I'm going to show you in today's class, including the counts for each of the beaded beads, and a little summary of the chain pattern in case you like that too. So here's the beautiful necklace that I was just wearing, laid out so you can see some of the details. It was constructed very simply, very easy. It starts with 3 beaded beads, and then we feature one of these gorgeous lampwork beads. And I'm going to get into materials here in just a second, but this is a floral round lampwork. It has colors of magenta, white, and green. And its size is, again, about 13 by 15 to 16 millimeters. I go over that in the materials, but it is a beautiful, beautiful bead that is highly substitutable. So if you have other beads like it, or other lampwork beads from, I know there's going to be like a really gorgeous lampwork bead focused sale this week when this class airs. And so you may want to check out those beads because this design is going to work with a lot of different stuff. In fact, pretty much anything really. So anything you like, here's how to feature it. Here's an up-close view of all the supplies we're going to use in today's class, starting with a beautiful lampwork focal bead. This super beautiful bead is really stunning, and I think it's going to be so fun to work with. But the technique I'm going to show you today is kind of one of my go-tos. It's something I love doing with focal beads in general. Particularly lampwork glass beads look really beautiful in this type of design. And so if you're working with a different lampwork than I have here, just know that it's going to work great in your design too. And the size of the floral lampwork is about 13 by 15 to 16 millimeters, depending on where you measure it. So something around that size will look great in this design, other sizes as well. But the little size of the beads that I'm going to create are going to really correspond nicely with this size. The other things you see here on my mat are there's a purple garnet faceted round. This is a grade A. It's about 3.1 millimeters, and it's going to be used in one of the beaded beads. There are rhodonite smooth heishi beads. These are also grade A, and they're about 2.6 by 4.3 millimeters. These are going to be used to decorate the chain of our necklace. The tourmalinated quartz microfaceted rounds 6 millimeter. And that's these here. Also going to be used to decorate our chain. Canadian jade, faceted round, 3.6 millimeter. These are also going to become a bead and decorate the chain. And the same with this, I forgot to say. All of these will be used in the chain, but these two, the smallest ones, which are the purple garnet, that's a 3.1 millimeter. And the Canadian jade, faceted round, 3.6 millimeter, going to be used in a beaded bead as well as in the chain. Then there are some Miyuki drops. So these are 3.4 millimeter bronze Miyuki drops. They are going to be used in one of the beaded beads. They could be replaced with a small gemstone if you don't have those handy. And Miyuki drop bead is that one, Orchid Blooms Mix. This one is an 11 round, custom designed by Sam's Bead Shop. They're Miyuki seed beads, and they're going to be used throughout for the beaded beads and the chain. All right, so let's thread and needles for 1 second. I'm using a size 10 beading needle. 12 would be great too. I'm using 6-pound Fireline in crystal. Now for today's demo, I'm going to show you the demo of how to make the beads. I'm going to show that initially with some smoke colored thread. Let me just show you the color really quick so you can see my demo a little easier. And then when we get to creating the actual design, I do recommend using crystal just because it's going to look a little bit better with your colors that you have going. That said, I'm looking at the seed bead mix, and pretty much the only transparent bead is that green one. So dark thread will darken up that green a little bit, but it won't be too dramatic. So if you only have black thread, that's okay. No worries. All right, let's get started. All right, so just to get started, I'm going to show you an in-process sample. This one, again, it's worked on crystals, so the thread's a little hard to see. We're going to start a new one together, but this is one I have in process. And the center part is done, which most of the bead, all the bead weaving is here. The rest of it's just beautiful stringing. I started by creating 3 beaded beads. Then I added my Lampwork focal. Then I created 3 more beaded beads. And I wanted to also mention that the amount of thread is pretty forgiving and highly dependent on how long you'd like your chain to be. But if you have 40 inches of a tail, that will be used exclusively to create your necklace chain and then to go all the way back through it and reinforce it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create these little beaded beads, and then I'm going to go ahead and create the chain with the remaining working thread on that side, which in this case was this side. Then take that thread that was left as the tail, create a match to the strung design that's going to become the necklace chain. Go back through both, right? And then here in the middle, those threads will meet and get knotted. So you'll have 2 strands running through the whole design. Also serves as a really nice way to reinforce your connection between your beaded beads. So we'll do that all together, but I just wanted to tell you where we're going in case you are trying to plan your design accordingly. All right, so let's grab my thread and needle and let's get started. So start with a pile of seed beads and have handy initially your Canadian jade. And you're going to need 5 of those. So get 5 of those beads and have those ready just to get started. Put on a stop bead that marks your tail position. So we're going to be adding a chain from this spot. So just leave 1 seed bead by going back through it, right? So just like that. And leave this side as your tail. And now you're going to string 5 seed beads. And I did work with certain colors, but it's not super important which ones you string. Now they're going to be the core. So depending on what color you'd like to be prominent, it will be slightly visible from inside the bead. Let me show you on my sample over here. So just take a close look and see. We're going to make this bead first. So you can kind of see the green in there. Here you can see the green a little bit. This one I went with pink. You'll see how they look, but you can always play with it and see what you like. I did go with green for this one. So 5 of those 11-0. And I'm not sure if that's a green or yellow, but it's really pretty. String that down to meet your stop bead. Now pick up 2 of the fuchsia, 1 of your Canadian jade, and these faceted, microfaceted rounds, guys, you have to kind of help your needle find the position to go through it because it's a little tricky, but you'll get it. String that on. You'll have something that looks like that. Now bring your needle back through those 5 beads. You'll get something that looks like this. And it doesn't need to be exactly next to your stop bead. Just get it to kind of pop into place like that. Pick up another repeat of that. So we're going to go 2 of those fuchsia beads. And then 1 jade, 2 fuchsia. Bring your needle back through those 5. And right before you go through and pull this through, if you want, you can tighten the thread exiting just to make sure it doesn't loosen the first set. That happens sometimes when you're working with these kind of beaded beads. The set you're adding can, on occasion, loosen up the previous arm. That's what I was calling these little edges as arms. So there's that. Just keep it all tight, but keep in mind we're going to go back through it. So the only place where you'll struggle to tighten it is in the arms. Don't worry so much about connection with the core beads, which are those 5 in the center. Here's 3, arm number 3. Back through these core beads here. Keep that tail out of the way. Mine's just a mini tail for now. I don't have the full 40 inches because I'm just demoing the process. I'll go through here. There's 2 more. Jade and 2 more. When you start getting more than a few on there, you want to help position it so that they don't overlap the other arms. They want to be their own distinct little positions. And if you look from the top, you'll see they all have their own spot like that. And in the case of the one with the jade, we're only going to be putting 5 arms on it because this is a pretty big bead right here. So it spaces it out in a way that I thought 5 looked good. So right back through those core beads. Making sure none of them are overlapping top and bottom here. That looks good there. That looks good there. Okay. Before we start the next bead, I'm going to space it out. I'm going to need 1 more of the jade. So string that. And now string 5 more beads that are going to become core beads for the next bead. And again, I did green for what my sample was. So there's 5. Let's string that down. And what we're going to next are the tiny little purple garnets. And you're going to need 5 of those. Sorry, you're going to need 6 of those. I found 6 looked better with the small gem. So let me show you the finished example. There it is with the 6 gems around it. So in this case, we're going to pick up 2 bronze from your mix. And then 1 of the gems. Again, just finding the holes a little tricky. There we go. Got that? And then back through those first 5. Tighten that all up and it'll sit just like that. So we want to repeat what we just did for a total of 6. There's 1 and 2. And again, you want to bring that back through. And then just before you tighten everything up, especially on this first one, go ahead and put your thumbnail above the core beads and just pull what will now be the top of the loop. And then when you tighten the second arm, that pretty much locks it in position connected to that last bead. It doesn't have to be, super, super tight, but just know that this is a good spot to do that. And then we will be going again back through these beads at the end here when we do the chain to connect all of these little beaded beads together really, really securely. So it won't just be one thread running through there. There's 3. Here's number 4. You can see it's starting to look really like half of a little globe there. Here's number 5. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, I'm going to summarize all of the counts for these little beads and put a little illustration reminder, kind of like a memory jogger. to supplement and support this video. So when you're working, you won't have to keep writing stuff down. You can just check my little PDF and it'll have, bead 1, Canadian jade, count 5 arms, that sort of thing. This is going to have 6 arms. This is the purple garnet. And I'm just going to help this last one sit right in. See how they kind of cross? The last one's always tricky, especially on one that has 6 arms. Just make sure those beads are staying like that. There you go. 2 beads are done. Let's do one more bead. And then next bead is going to start with a purple garnet. So, it's going to be spaced by a purple garnet. So we'll put on one of these and it'll sit really nicely there at the top of the little bead we just made. And now you're going to want to pick up 5 of these pink ones. Slide that down. Let's get our drops. Now you need the 3.4 millimeter drop beads. You're going to need 6 of those. Six per bead. Pick up 2 pink, 1 drop, 2 pink. Head back through those 5. Tighten. And bring it through. You'll have that. And once again, we're going to repeat this a total of 6 times. So this looks really nice with 6 arms going around. There's number 3. This is number 4. Okay, just 2 more is all that we need. And feel free to make these any color you want, or even just mix them up, mix up colors. As long as you have the counts right, you'll get a symmetrical looking bead. It also helps you if you lay out the beads that you need first, and you're not having to count your number of arms. That's really helpful. All right, here comes the last one. Again, the last one's a little tricky. You want to make sure that it does not overlap the other arms. And sometimes it requires a little help, and sometimes it just pops right into place. You just never know. All right, so there's that one. All done. So what I did from here is I strung 1 more purple garnet. Let me grab one of those to top off that bead. So you've got that so far. And then you need your Lampwork focal. String that on. Bring that down. And that is half of the design. From here, what you'll want to do, let me bring the other sample over really quick. You want to repeat everything that I just showed you 1 more time for each of the bead types. And how that looks is we just finished. Let me flip it a little bit over here and show you in the right direction here. Okay. So you finished those, right? Strung that. Now what you'll want to do is repeat back out everything we've done here. I'll just bring it up a little higher so you can see a little better. You'll repeat the beads out, just reverse the order that they're in. So from here, you're going to need another purple garnet. And that's going to be representing this little spacer bead right here. So string that. Okay. And then you want to repeat the creation of the one we just did, which is the one with the drops and the pink. String another purple garnet as its spacer. Create a purple garnet bead using 6 of the purple garnets with the bronze color. Green is inside. Then you want to string a Canadian jade on top of that, 5 of the green beads, and encase that with 5 arms of the Canadian jade made with the fuchsia color seed bead. So that is how to make the center part of the design. I'm going to set this one aside really quick and show you next steps. So after you've created those beads, bringing you back up to this spot here, or in this case, we'll say this is the tail side right here. Create those beads out. From here, you want to just start stringing. Start with another Canadian jade to cap that bead really beautifully like that. And then the design that I've created for the chain is 3 beads and then a gemstone. 3 beads, gemstone, 3 beads, gemstone, the whole way. Some of the things that I did to make it special are I did an up and down the hill ombre with each of the seed beads in these colors. So I started with the green, and then I went on to add one of the let's see, these are the orchid blooms. No, hang on. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, the rhodonite smooth heishi. That's what this one is here. That's the first place we've used it. So I did 3 green and that 3 bronze, and then the Canadian jade. And so after every gemstone, I did another one of the heishi. And then this is the tourmalinated quartz. There we go. I got that time. And here's the heishis. So you see how I've got a little pattern going here. And I think I'll probably write this up in the document so you don't have to memorize it. Bring that out to your desired length. Doesn't matter what color you end with, it's just all to your liking. When you get it to that point, just set it aside for now. I'm going to go through my bead as a stop bead here. Bring that down. We want to repeat everything we did on this side with the tail thread we left at the other side. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to start stringing. And let's see, I'm going to need some of my jade. So I'll just start grabbing a few here and there of handfuls of beads. Let's string on one of those. Bring that down. 3 green. So you see we're just matching it. Here's one of the heishis. And then I went to bronze. It looks like I did another green after that. And this was just a pattern that I liked. There's no requirement to do this pattern. It won't change the end result of you getting a beautiful necklace. So just anything that really inspires you, I think is going to be a great way to make your chain. Just this one. And I don't think it's required, but I did kind of try to match my, here we go again, tourmalinated quartz. I tried to match them a little bit because, you know, on the strand, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of really beautiful different colors. And so there's some clearer, some milkier, and then there's some with all of the little added color. So what I did on this one is I just kind of selected for a few milkies and clears. Not a requirement, just if you like it. Whatever you think looks good. So carry on like that. I won't keep recording the entire stringing, but I just wanted to show it started. I'm going to bring that out to match what I've done here, and then we'll finish it all up. All right, so here's our beautiful chain, our beautiful necklace all matched up. And so all we have left to do now is some reinforcing, going back through it. And depending on the length you made your chain, you probably won't have to add thread, but even if you do, that's okay. It's not hard to do. If you got to the spot and you were like, hang on, I'm out of thread, you could always just bring another strand and just go straight through. When you go through this part of the design, you're just going through the core beads in the center. And I'll show you that when we get there. But for me, I'm going to be bringing each of these ends around and through the closure option, some kind of clasp. Haven't really figured out which one I'm going to do yet, but probably just a lobster claw and some chain and stuff like that. But then you'll be heading down and then just get as far as you can through the core beads, maybe even to the lampwork bead. Same thing on this side. When we get here, we're just going to tie a double knot and go through, crossing each other and trim it. makes it for and a little extra sturdy. So what I'm going to do here at the top of the chain, I'm thinking what would be really good is just to do a nice easy like lobster claw with a little adjustable chain. All right, so we're just going to need a few more seed beads, and I'm just going to work with bronze. I think that'll look really cute next to my jump ring. So go ahead and string on 3 bronze seed beads, or whatever color you're using, your jump ring, 3 more of the bronze seed beads. And just for this part, let me bring this down just a little bit. We're going to do something to make it so we can reinforce the connection with the jump ring before we head down the chain. Head back through the first 3 seed beads. So you strung 3 seed beads, you strung a jump ring, you strung 3 seed beads, and now we're coming around and going back through the first 3. And see what it does is it makes a little loop circle like that. And that's what we want. So we can go back down through those 3, the first 3 we had, tighten that all up, and then head down through your gemstone. So that basically gives us 2 passes through those seed beads. And we're going to additionally have 2 passes through our chain. And it also looks really nice too. If you have French wire, you can use French wire here too. And this also will work with lobster claws if you want to go direct to a lobster claw or a toggle. Okay, so from here, it's just a little bit of traveling. I'm going to weave down all the way down until we get to right about here. Well, I'll stop the camera here and show you going through the beads. All right, so I'm already through here. And if you have room on your needle, go ahead and continue through the gemstone, and you'll have to kind of feel your way through, but you'll know because it'll be a little bit tight. Try to get through those first set of core beads and then through your gemstone if you can. So through all of those beads right there. Push that needle through. You can use a little chain nose pliers if you need to. That one went pretty well for me. And then try to get through the core beads on this one. And this is where it's just a smidge tricky, but if you tip it, you can kind of see where you're going. You'll encounter a little bit of resistance, but it shouldn't be too much. And in this case, I can get through, let's see, I think I'm getting through all of the next sets of beads as well. Yeah, look at that. So I was able to get through. Make sure you got through your gemstone in between here, and it looks like I did. The way you can tell is just spin it in your hand and double check you don't see your needle anywhere. But this is looking good. It looks like I got through everything. And it'll be a tight fit, but it shouldn't be impossibly tight. And you'll be getting a little short on your thread at that point. So right here, I'm going to go through the next gemstone. And I'm going to go, actually, I think I'm going to stay on this side of the lampwork since this side is a little short. I'll have more room, more thread left on the other side. The tail side just a smidger shorter. All right, so there's my tail. Okay, and it's just being left in front of that little gem right there, right before the lampwork bead. Switch right over to here. Leave that one for now. And we're going to repeat what we did on the other side. So if you did the stop bead thing like me, just free that. Thread your needle. I'll show putting the clasp on this side too. In my case, I'm just doing a closed jump ring. And I'm using a total of 6 seed beads. So 3, sliding that down, 1 jump ring, 3 more seed beads, and then opposite direction back up through those first 3 to create a loop. Push that loop down so that it settles on top of your seed bead. I'm sorry, on top of your gemstone. And then you want to go through your jump ring and through those 3 on the other side, which puts 2 passes on that jump ring. You could do more than 1. You could travel right back up with 3, but I figure since the entire chain is running on 2 strands, Maybe 3 would be okay up here by the jump ring. Can't hurt. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, it's probably better than. But it looks so cool with this little loop. I've always thought that was cool. So I'm going to go with an open jump ring onto each of these ends now and add my clasp option. But once again, I need to travel all the way down through the chain. So just be careful not to miss any beads. And just keep going like this till you reach. And I'll turn my camera back on right here. All right, so I'm going to head back down through these here. And now I'm going to try to get through, just like I did on the other side, the core beads of all of my beads on this side. Let's see. I'll exit from this one here. And this time I only just got through the bead. That's okay. Don't force it. Gemstone. And next set of core beads. And there we go. Careful not to entangle any arms. And then here, go through your last gemstone, and let's head through the lampwork bead. Keep your needle on so you know which side came through the lampwork, because that side's going to carry on in this direction. And this side we're going to bring back through the lampwork after we knot. So take your tail and tie a double knot securely just outside that lampwork bead. There we go. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'll take the tail and just bring that back through the lampwork, or ahead to the lampwork in this case, and pull. And it's a little short, so I'm going to pinch it. And then on the other side, I can just hold it. And just tighten that knot. I might bring this side through a few beads on this side, maybe just through the gemstone. Or maybe just trim it here at the lampwork is also fine. Yeah, you know, actually, I don't want to go through the gemstone again, so forgive me. We'll just trim it right here. And you can make that a triple knot if you want to. Before you pull it through the bead, obviously, but I think my double knot is good. And I'm just now burning these ends. Be careful not to burn any structural, just the tail. Same thing on this side. All right. So I just need to choose a really pretty clasp, but basically here's my design. Gorgeous little focal beads here and our gorgeous little strands off the top of it. Let me go find a clasp really quick. I think just a lobster claw is going to be fine. Here we go. So just some little open jump rings now. I think these are 5mm, but again, anything is fine here. Just use whatever you've got. And go ahead and put your clasp on whichever side. I don't think this necklace has a front or a back. The lampwork will spin on you, and if you have a favorite side, you can just roll it. You can even say this is a little bit of a fidget piece. And there we go. Nice closed jump ring on that side. Same thing on this side. I'm going to just open up a jump ring. Looks like I got 2 there by accident. I'm going to drop that one. And I do have a chain remnant that I'm just attaching. I love to put chain on these kind of designs so that they can be worn at different lengths based on your top or your dress. And there you go. All right. So here it is. Super beautiful. And there it is. Oh, it's so cool. I think it has really nice symmetry and it fits really nicely. So it's a really fun design that I hope you will love making. Again, this was one of my go-tos. I do this kind of stitch a lot. You can really make this your own by varying your counts and your gemstones. The 5 count beaded bead is the standard, but I think a lot of folks can make them with different counts. I've seen 3, I've seen them made with 4. So I mean, really just play with it. It just it's all about getting a center point for whichever gemstone you're featuring. And the idea to add the gemstone, I think this might be the first time I've tried that. I've usually just used different kinds of seed beads. Like I definitely had done the drops before, like in a beaded bead, but I had never tried it with a true like gorgeous gemstone. So kudos to these gemstones for having great hole diameters for being able to do a stitch like this with them. So thumbs up to that. So yeah, there's the necklace. I hope you love the class, and I really cannot wait to see the types of designs you will come up with your lamp work and your gemstones and your seed beads. Until the next one, happy beading.